The first of the kind was Sholomari Sadhu. He built up an ashram near to the East Pakistan border in Northwest Bengal district of Kuch Bihar, 60 km from Falakata railway station, and came to public notice in around 1959. His given name was Sharodanandaji. Due to his looks and otherwise, his followers spread the message that Sharodanandaji was Netaji in disguise. A Bengali newspaper, Jugantar, gave wide publicity to this development. Due to this propaganda, the belief and inquisitiveness among the masses became so strong that in early 60s, the central government was forced to send investigation team to find out the truth. The rumor that Sholomari Sadhu could be Netaji found place in CIA's report of 1964. In 1973, the Sadhu shifted base to Dehradun, where he died in 1977. The Justice Mukherjee Commission of Inquiry of 1999 to 2005, the third of its kind to inquire into the disappearance of Netaji, noted, at the inception, nobody took notice of the ashram and for that matter of the Sadhu. But when it extended its geographical area over 100 acres of land, its inhabitants rose to about 1,500 and armed guards were posted. Outsiders living in and around the place became inquisitive about the real identity of the Sadhu as well as the goings-on at the ashram. Though the Sadhu himself declared in the latter half of 60s that he was not Netaji, his followers continued to insist that he was none other than Netaji himself. The existence of the Sholomari Sadhu was one of the reasons for the formation of the Justice Khosla Commission of Inquiry of 1970, the second of its kind on Netaji's disappearance. However, the commission in its conclusion dismissed the claim that this Sadhu was Subhash Chandra Bose in disguise. Uttam Chand Malhotra, who gave shelter to Netaji in Kabul and extended facilities, and Pritam Singh, one of the 6 companions of Netaji in his last flight from Bangkok, were among those who believed that Sholomari Sadhu was Netaji. Another Netaji Subhash was Laldhari Mutya, who set up an ashram abutting the Kalaburgi-Bidar highway near Humnabad, Karnataka. Mutya died in 2001. But his belongings kept under lock and key was by chance opened in 2016. Out came the Bose belongings: military uniform, cap, jackets, German-made wristwatch released during the World War, 1932 model compass and binocular, foreign currency, military badges. The Ashramites believed that the aged man was Netaji and claimed that they are in possession of Mutya's teeth and hair. They feel a DNA test would establish the true identity of Laldhari Mutya. Osmanabad District Commissioner was apprised of this, and it is believed the local MP wrote to the Prime Minister about the new find.
तो कौन से देशों का सामान है और इसमें फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर का कितना सामान है?
ये फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर का ये 2 बता रहे हैं।
हाँ,
ये बाद में 1960 की।
अच्छा, ये कहाँ? ये लंदन का है?
ये लंदन का है।
ये फ्रांस का है?
पेरिस का है।
हाँ,
ये जर्मनी की 1960 की बता रहा है।
जर्मन की है और ये रशिया का है।
रशिया का है। ये 1991 का बता रहा है।
पहले विश्व युद्ध में विदेशी सेनाओं द्वारा इस्तेमाल की जाने वाली है ये चीजें। कुछ केवल सेना के लिए बनाई जाती थी और बाद में उनका बनाना भी बंद हो गया। इस बाबा के पास कहां से आई ये चीजें? खास बात यह है कि ये चीजें उनके पास थी, इसके बारे में भी हाल ही में पता लगा है। इसके बारे में पहले किसी को
Another reappearance of Netaji happened in Pandola village in Shivpurkalan district of Madhya Pradesh. It is said that during the days of freedom struggle, a plane crash landed in a village nearby to Pandola. Among the survivors was a sadhu. The sadhu carried the name of Jyotir Dev and started living on the bank of a river nearby. He used to correspond regularly with senior officers and used to go out of the village frequently. On his death on 21st May 1977, police seized all the documents left behind by the sadhu. Jagannath Prasad Gupta of Nagoda village of Seopur Kalan, along with 4 other witnesses, testified that Jyotir Dev was none other than Netaji. Justice Mukherjee Commission of Inquiry of 1999-2005, the third of its kind on Netaji's disappearance, dismissed the claim. In Mathura, there appeared a self-styled spiritual leader, Baba Joy Guru Dev, who claimed himself as the freedom fighter Netaji. He grew a cult around him named Swadhin Bharat Subhas Sena. According to media reports, top politicians of the time were among Gurudev's disciples. He was, however, badly thrashed by the public in 1975 for claiming to be Netaji Bose, and the police had to intervene to save him. He died in 2012, but the cult continued. They occupied hundreds of acres of government land at Jawahar Park at Mathura for years for the stay of thousands of their activists. On 2nd June 2016, they made national headlines when his followers clashed with the police on eviction, resulting in 29 deaths. Of a total of 131 witnesses examined by the Mukherjee Commission, 30 claimed that Netaji had become Gumnami or some other Baba. Of these 30, 4 persons claimed Mouni Baba, that is Sant Samrat Yogi of Sitapur, to be Netaji in disguise. The photograph of the Baba they produced had no similarity whatsoever with Netaji. Their claim got rejected by the commission. The cult guru of Shantandal, Balok Brahmachari, said, Netaji is not only alive, he will return as a world leader. Netaji is not alone. Along with him, 4 other great persons are staying, whom the world knows as dead. Among them, there lies the world terror, Hitler. Not only the Indian government, but the great worldly regimes know very well Netaji's whereabouts, but they are unable to do any harm to him, as he has achieved the divine grace of Shakti through sadhana. And keep it noted, as soon as he reappears, the so-called fake leaders and patriots will find no way to flee. A conflict will be going on between India and Pakistan, and at that very moment, 50,000 strong Netaji's Asian Liberation Army will enter the Indian territory as the savior. Shantandal, being the part and parcel of that unity, will render services on that account. It is said that the Dal has more than 1,00,000 followers. Prabhat Ranjan Sarkar, founder of Anand Marg, claimed Netaji was his mother's cousin. He claimed that the plane that Subhash supposed to board got crashed, but actually Subhash boarded another plane which flew him to Siberia. He was hiding there until Sarkar requested him mentally to leave the freedom struggle and concentrate rest of his life for spiritual practices. He moved to secret cave in Tibet, and Sarkar helped him mentally in the process. According to him, Bose learned Kapalik sadhana and was spiritually very advanced. He developed many siddhis that he could travel anywhere. Sarkar declared that Subhash had a link with the Anand Marg. One day in 1981 or 82, Sarkar suddenly informed to his followers that Subhash is not alive anymore. So, according to the Proutists, Gumnami Baba cannot be Netaji. The most talked about in recent past of all the Babas relate to a sadhu who lived by the given name of Gumnami Baba in eastern Uttar Pradesh. The mystic's story has many versions. One such version say that after Stalin's death, he moved to India at the end of 1950s. They claim that he had attained the highest form of spiritual power through Tantra Sadhana that made him transcend physical and formal barriers. Somewhere during this journey, he led Dalai Lama to India, who was fleeing Tibet. But CIA records say that their Special Activities Division did exactly so in 1959. He lived incognito to perform some covert activities in Asian countries. He led an Asian Liberation Army which fought in the Korean War of 1952. The Chinese army that attacked India in 1962 was led by him. He wanted to emancipate India from the Western influence, but Indians could not recognize him. So he ordered the army to retreat. In Vietnam, he was guiding Ho Chi Minh in his fight against US imperialism. He went to Paris in 1969 to mediate for the Vietnamese in the Paris peace talks. Before that, he visited Tashkent to help draw up the Tashkent Pact between India and Pakistan on 10th January 1966. Lastly, he turned his attention to his native state and was in North Bengal in 1970-71, guiding the Mukti Juddhas in the liberation war for Bangladesh. In India, Gumnami Baba lived in the guise of a sadhu at Naimisharanya, Basti, Ayodhya and Faizabad, where he kept changing his places several times and within the city itself. One of his landlords, Gurbakh Singh Sodhi, took him twice to the Faizabad civil court. This information is corroborated by his son Manjeet Singh in his deposition to the Justice Sahai Commission of Inquiry set up to identify Gumnami Baba. Later, a journalist, Dr. Virendra Kumar Mishra too, lodged a complaint with the police. Gumnami Baba finally settled in an outhouse of Ram Bhavan at Faizabad in 1983, where he reportedly died on 16 September 1985 and cremated 2 days later on the 18th. But there is no proof that any person really died. There is no death certificate, no photograph of the dead body or the people present during cremation, and moreover, there is no cremation certificate. All the above chapters involving Gumnami Baba was not known to people till 42 days after his supposed death. A local newspaper, Naye Log, informed the people that Gumnami Baba, who died at Faizabad on 16 September 1985, was Netaji Subhash. Alerted by the sensational news of Gumnami Baba being Netaji, another local newspaper, Janmorcha, conducted an inquiry on the issue. They found no evidence of Gumnami Baba being Netaji. Senior journalist Sheetla Singh visited Netaji associate Pobitra Mohan Roy at Kolkata in November 1985. Roy said, "We have been visiting every sadhu and mysterious individual in search of Netaji from Sholmari to Kohima to Punjab. In the same manner, we also visited Babaji at Basti, Faizabad and Ayodhya. But I can say with certainty that he was not Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. He also denied celebrating Netaji's birthday in Faizabad." A media war followed. Newspapers in UP, Northern Indian Patrika, Amrit Prabhat, Sachi Kahaniya, Swatantra Bharat and many others started bringing out more exciting news on Gumnami Baba. Amrit Prabhat on November 8, 1985 reported, Sources in the police said they were investigating whether it was K.D. Upadhyay, known as Kaptan Baba, a murderer who was hiding in the guise of Netaji. In February 1986, Netaji's niece Lalita Bose was brought to Faizabad to identify the items found in Gumnami Baba's room after his death. At first sight, she was overawed and identified some items to be of Netaji's family. But skeptics say it is quite possible that the Baba's room was filled up by the 2,700 plus articles in 25 steel trunks in those 42 days after his death, as no one ever saw them during the Baba's lifetime. On 10th February 1986, along with two other persons, she filed a writ petition at the Lucknow bench of Allahabad High Court to inquire about Gumnami Baba. The case never proceeded. Meanwhile, she passed away. After a lull, in 1997, news came out in Swatantrata Bharat, Kuberu Times, Sahara and Swatantrata Chetna newspapers that Gumnami Baba file has gone missing from the court. While these developments were going on in UP, in Kolkata, a publishing house started bringing out articles in Bengali on Gumnami Baba being Netaji. They published a book detailing out many accounts of the said Baba written under a pseudonym. Here, Gumnami is portrayed as Mahakal, who never dies. Mahakal disappears on 16 September 1985. The Justice Mukherjee Commission, during its course of inquiry, among other possibilities, considered the Gumnami Baba angle. Of the 131 persons who deposed to the commission, 26 spoke on Gumnami Baba. The commission noted that Dr. P. Banerjee, one of the Baba's physicians at Faizabad, did not assert that the saint was Netaji. His mother-in-law, Bithi Chatterjee, who was a regular visitor of the Baba, found it difficult to say whether Gumnami Baba was Netaji. His wife, Rita Banerjee, said she based her claim on a belief only. Sunil Kumar Gupta and 6 others claimed they knew from 1963-67 that Gumnami was Netaji, but they could not divulge the fact before as they were under oath of secrecy. Justice Mukherjee commented, "The explanation given by Gupta that they were under an oath of secrecy against its disclosure is extremely difficult to rely on, more so when they have now divulged that in spite of that oath." Justice Mukherjee did not find any merit in the deposition of all the 26. Gumnami Baba's supposed handwriting was examined by the Government Examiner of Question Documents in Shimla and the Forensic Science Laboratory in Kolkata. Both found out that the handwritings do not match Netaji's. A private expert, however, opined that they were the same. The majority opinion was accepted, as is the procedure. Gumnami Baba's teeth failed DNA scrutiny too. Dr. V.K. Kashyap, director of the renowned Central Forensic Science Laboratory, was cross-examined at length by some of the deponents, but the attempts failed. Dr. Kashyap was a leading DNA expert of his time. Thus, in 2005, Justice Mukherjee dismissed the Gumnami angle completely. Not to be let down, the Gumnami propagators moved court in 2010 and brought out a judgment in favor of their petition, with the High Court directing the UP government to establish the identity of Gumnami Baba. Accordingly, the government set up an inquiry commission on June 28, 2016 under the chairmanship of Justice Vishnu Sahai. Hardly 45 people responded to the inquiry. The main propagator admitted the very idea that Netaji could have lived secretly in hiding in his own country for so long is absolutely repugnant. The claims are not supported by anything and are unsubstantiated. 8 witnesses said Gumnami Baba was not Netaji. They included Vishwambhar Nath Arora, Dr. R.P. Mishra, who was a long-time physician of Gumnami Baba, did not say Gumnami was Netaji. 5 deponents said Shoulomari Sadhu was Netaji. On completion of interview and cross-examinations, the commission concluded that the highly publicized and mysterious Gumnami Baba was not Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. It also said that the identity of Gumnami Baba could not be established. The man was an admirer of Netaji. The government accepted the findings and the action taken report was placed in the assembly on 20th December 2019. Earlier in 2019, there was an attempt to salvage the Gumnami story through a commercial film and by procuring handwriting experts' opinion. They also raked up a belated DNA issue, but the curtains had already been drawn for last of the Baba story. 2 consecutive commissions, Mukherjee and Sahai, declared that Gumnami Baba was not Netaji, irrespective of the fact that 10 investigations and inquiries held by governments at home, abroad, and privately concluded that Netaji died in a plane crash at Taihuku on 18th August 1945.